Welcome to BS Sessions, presented by AMPR Plaza, where you get the opportunity to go backstage with us and hear the untold stories of how your favorite local bands came to be and where they plan on going.
Good evening. Welcome to BS Sessions, presented by AMPR Plaza. Tonight we are fortunate to have Oscar Polk and his all-star band. I've been planning that all day.
And the crowd goes mild.
So, Oscar, these guys have been, well, all of you guys have been playing in this town better part of 5 decades, 4 for sure.
Dennis for sure.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, 55 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, long time. James, I know you've been playing a long time as well.
92, I got to town.
That's
So
1892.
Yeah.
that means you guys truly are the all-stars.
Just the
Go ahead, Dennis. I saw you just...
I'm not saying anything because I'm already upset about 5 decades.
Oh.
I'm sure it's just only 3 decades, and that's all.
And then there was a time when you didn't play?
The 60s, when he doesn't remember.
Okay, well, really just kind of wanted to let you guys talk about how you formed this band, Oscar, and then kind of let you go into, what you guys are doing now and some of the things that you've done in the past. So we'll get started. I know Oscar, and I didn't really know him as well as I do now, but I'd been around back in the 80s when he was playing with the Bonton Band. And so I know 2 years ago, was it 2 years already?
Right
Live on the
after-
Drive?
Yeah, Live on the Drive started.
The COVID area.
Yeah, COVID.
Yeah.
20.
I think we started
Yeah, 2
2020,
years.
yeah.
because we were doing Frontier on Wednesdays, and then we had weekends open. So then said, hey, man, try this on the driveway.
Right.
And then, like, first week we did was like 50 people there. And then
Everybody
next-
was
yeah.
excited just to have somewhere to go.
Yeah,
Aaron,
we were too.
it was a great deal, and I don't know. I think you guys started marketing it on the driveway, right? The number 17, 18, or whatever it was. Hell, and even into November that first year.
We did one on the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
That was 20.
It
Yeah,
was,
if
it
that
was
was-
chilly. I remember
yeah.
it being chilly.
Yeah,
but,
that wasn't at home, but we did it somewhere else. But yeah. it's
so
a-
that's what created the All-Star Band, not Oscar Polk's band, but
because I had Oscar Polk
Yeah.
band before that, and then
Yeah.
that Terry and James played in that too. But then the All Star band, it's like we got Dennis in there, we got Terry Swope, we get yeah. Yeah, Frontier Steakhouse. Frontier Steakhouse used to be owned by Dennis's family.
Yes.
But we used to play out there, and that's really I don't know. I met Dennis before I even met you though.
Really?
We were playing at what's that Long Shots in '93,
Oh, yeah.
93, 94.
at Roseanne Square.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we did that. We did that for a while until there was a big blow up, and then but then we quit playing there. And but then I think we started doing the thing with you and Dennis and then Walt. And then after a while, he said, "Hey man, we're doing this thing." So they asked me to do it with them. It's like a thing where that Parents Without Partners or something. I think what you called it. Yeah. And we played there Sunday nights every now and then. And
With Jim Hodson.
Yep.
Oh, my God, yeah. Yeah, at the Ramada. Yeah.
In the Marriott.
Oh, Marriott. Yeah.
And then we started doing it down at that Shriners.
The Shriner.
Yeah.
With that spooky
And-
statue out
Yeah, and we did those for a while, and then 2006, I think they were already doing Frontier, but 2006 they say, "Hey man," Dennis said something like, "Hey man, why don't you come play at my restaurant on Wednesday?" I said, "Okay." So we got out there and started playing, and out of all the places I played in my life, that had to be the most fun place. I mean, you walk in there, you start playing, you play. Derry starts singing a song, and he finished the first verse, and then get ready to go to the solo section. People are clapping for him for singing, and like we're sitting there playing. It's not like when you're playing a bar in Kansas City most of the time when you're playing, and everybody's talking. Frontier, you start playing, first note starts playing there, and then
It's a
like,
showcase.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and like you said, to dream about that kind of gig. And then we finished playing. I said, man, call me back anytime I put my horns away and I'm getting ready to leave. And he said, no, hold on, man, I got to pay you. I said, pay me? And I started telling him, I told Terry, I said, man, he don't have to pay me. He don't have to pay me. And Terry said, don't tell him that.
Now you tell me.
Comes out now, doesn't it?
Damn.
Hey, thanks a lot, man.
But yeah, man, that was like 2006. And then we do gigs, all the three of us, and with Walt, and then be the five of us with
Walt Chambers?
Yeah, Walt Chambers. And then
The Chief stuff.
yeah, and we did Chief stuff, and
Oh, yeah.
shoot, man, it's just, and like, I don't know, man, when it started about All-Star Band, it's like, who can he play with? I said, hey, Terry, you want to do this gig? Terry said, yep. Dennis, you want to do this gig? Yep. James, you want to do this gig? Yep. So I was like, okay, I got my All-Stars already. And then Terry Swope's the one that came up with the thing about the All-Star Band. It's like, okay, yeah. And that's why different people, every now and then say, hey, man, won't you let me sit in? One guy came by one time wanting to sit in. He showed up the first 2 weeks, and he came in and said, hey, man, let me sit in. I said, nope. and no, I wasn't trying to be mean or anything, but like we're talking about all-star bands that, and I don't know, I don't put myself in the same category with these guys. Everybody knows James, everybody knows Dennis, everybody knows Terry. I'm a guy that's known because I played in Bonton, for 20-something years, whatever.
Long time.
But yeah, and but like I'd look around and stuff, and I'd said this to I don't know how many people, and I ain't ashamed to say it, the best singer in Kansas City is sitting right here. And
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Oh, you're talking to Terry. Oh, okay. Excuse me.
So see, man, I had money coming for that.
Yeah.
He was gonna pay me. Dang.
I just ruined it right there, but
Yeah, see, man,
there goes that, hun.
No, I ain't give no money out of it.
A lot of soul comes out of that voice, brother.
Yep.
That is some.
Well, thank you.
For sure.
Big time.
So you call them up. Everybody's in.
Yeah,
Everybody wants to do
we
it.
had nowhere else to play. And then we played the first week, and it's like 50 people, and the next week it's like 100 people. Next week it's like 150. Next week it's like stayed around 200.
I was the third week.
Yeah.
I didn't make the first two. I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
And then when I did, man, it was just it grew.
And then the cops showed up.
Was that the first time that you had seen us? I mean, that we'd met? I can't remember.
I'd seen him
Okay.
because I'd seen Shooting Star. I'd never seen James, and I don't think I'd ever seen you, at least not that I know of.
Right.
Swope I had seen before. Oscar, of course, actually, no, I did see James because he was playing with Richie back in the day before when they came back out. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
But I mean, everybody was just in awe when you guys got together and started playing that stuff.
Oh, we were. I mean, I'd sit there and look at him every now and then. I'd look back at Terry and turn around and say, man, this is a badass band.
Every fucking corner on that street there at that popular 109th and Holmes.
People were sitting on the roofs, too.
Yeah.
I know. It was so cool. Then it got hotter than hell.
And it's still the cane.
You got the only little tree in your yard.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. I'm a big old fat fucker sitting there trying to get the shade off this
He was
little bitty
spooning with the tree, yeah.
The tree's a lot bigger. The tree's a lot bigger now. Now it's about six feet. He
So-
tried to sit up under a tree that's like 4 feet tall.
And then in the cold, it was
Oh, yeah.
cold, and we were out there. Everybody was,
Yeah, because somebody's gonna bring. Somebody was bringing a heater one time. Gonna bring like one of those propane heaters, and
The band doesn't get that. Everybody else does, yeah.
everybody out there sitting there. And like a friend of mine showed up. I'm not gonna say John's name, but John, and they
Don't.
showed up like sitting out there with like they talked to stuff about stereotypical stuff. But this joker shows up with ribs at my house, and then offered me no ribs. And he showed up another time with fried chicken, and then offered me fried chicken. It's like, dang, dude, you're gonna dog me straight out. And I went to school with the dude. I said, dang, man.
There was only one more food group
I know, man.
that he didn't bring.
Didn't mean no
have
harm.
him escorted out.
Yeah. Shoot, man, I finally figured out how to pick one, though. Took me years. Finally picked one last week.
So let's, as far as the All-Star Band, when it kind of came back that following spring, right? It was March or whenever you had one gig,
Early
right?
April. Yeah, early April.
And then that moron down the road
Yep.
called the cops and ended a fucking good time.
Yeah.
But you were able to go out, I know, at the Barrio, where we featured you guys back in January, and you got a gig there.
Yeah, second Saturday every month.
And where do you have another set schedule, or is that the
That's
one?
pretty much it. Well, I mean, we've got parties every now and people call us for a private party, and then we're doing the thing on.
Of course.
That's right.
Cool people.
We're doing
Yeah, the cool people.
we're doing a private party for a friend of ours. This I don't know how private it is, but it's this Saturday. We're doing.
It's gotten big. In fact, we got count today at about 120. So
Oh, really?
we should have some fun there. We'll It'll be fun. Okay, so then once you guys got started as the all-star band, and you got these guys assembled together, how was it where you guys were able to go in and book these deals, like with the Barrio and or other gigs? When we first came out of COVID, was it difficult?
Well, I think we started doing the thing with Lupe, and then but that's sort of like I don't know, not hybrid, but it's a cut down version.
Yeah, knockoff of
Yeah, it's like it's only 4 of us that do that, and we're doing that down. But we were doing that before the COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then
You,
me,
Terry,
and
Dennis and
Dennis.
Lupe.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
But then you weren't you going out to the parking lot at your restaurant?
Yeah, we were doing.
Yeah, we're doing that before. That's what,
Oh, that was where it was?
that's
Was in
what
the
sort of
parking
got it
lot?
going.
Well,
back
well,
behind on the
well,
on
well,
the
that's
back.
when COVID hit.
Yeah.
We went outside.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was always indoors before because we had an older crowd and they weren't going to sit outside no matter what the weather was. So, but when COVID hit, it had to go outside.
So did we do that 15 years?
I think. Oh God, I think it was longer than that too.
Yeah, because I did
Yeah.
it. So I started in 2000.
15
I think
16 years.
I think we did about 18 years
18,
of
really?
that.
Wow.
18 years.
With who all was in the band?
Well, it started out. It was me, Terry, and Walt, and in fact, Terry would show up and play a cardboard box. He didn't bring even drums in, because we didn't know. It wasn't a huge room, and it was an older crowd, so we didn't want to blow them out. So Terry would bring this box in. It was a DeWalt.
The DeWalt. Yeah, you remember?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a miter saw. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It had the best swish.
Yeah, and Terry would make so many tips because people would put up and say, "Oh, well, this will help you buy a real
Get your
drum
new drum set. Yeah, they were serious
perfect.
too. That's how. Yeah. That's crazy.
but that's the way it started, and well, actually, if I can go back just a year, it started with a Christmas show that I did, and it was like. I just decided to do a solo Christmas gig. I did that for 1 or 2 years. And then, people said, well, you need to do this more often. Then I met Terry and Walt, and I started playing with them. I didn't know them. I didn't know you guys before,
Right,
before
right.
then.
Yeah, we didn't.
My life was so good then. And then I met Terry and Walt, and everything
The
went
dark
down.
side.
Everything went down,
The
didn't it?
dark side of the
Perfect.
So, we started, and then eventually the drums came in, and then eventually inviting special guests to come in.
We had
and
special guests, a special guest every week,
every week.
and we had to learn new songs. So in 1 year, we learned like 422 new songs.
Wow.
My mom videotaped every time, every Wednesday. I have all of them.
Always on
Wow.
Wednesday night?
Always on Wednesday night from what was it, 6
7 till 8:30.
7 to 8:30.
7 to 8, yeah. And it's like, say, everyone that ever played there was like, when can I come back?
Yep.
I mean, it was the best crowd that we ever played for in our lives. It was
Yeah.
it was just amazing.
When I look at the videos, the thing that I notice the most is that from the beginning to the end, all of whoever's on stage, we're all smiling the whole time. I mean, it was kind of hee-hawish sometimes, and
yeah.
with jokes, and then we did some comedy stuff, and of course we're great comedians.
With the question.
Yeah, I had a
of the day.
hat with a light on top, and it was Terry. What was it called?
I
It was Terry's opinions or whatever. And Dennis goes, and this is not necessarily the opinion of the Frontier Steakhouse.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, right.
Oh, a big disclaimer with him. You never knew what was going to come out,
But then at the end of the night, the people in the crowd would get on line and they'd come by the stage just to shake our hands for playing for them.
Every
It's
night.
like,
That is
man, it's
awesome.
like
Yeah.
it's hard to even think about that now.
I know.
Yeah.
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 Very
And then they
appreciative.
start looking back and thinking about it. It was an older crowd, so you start seeing a lot of them now that they come back and they said, yeah, my dad loved it being here, because their dad died a couple of years ago or their mom died. And it's all these people through the years, and I didn't even know them by name. I just saw
Yes,
them
I
by
know
face
some of them, yeah.
and just knew them by their face because they were always Frontier. And they say, yeah, Oscar. I mean, they knew me, but I knew them by their face, and it's just like they were, I don't know, the friendliest crowd you ever see. And then you play in front of them, and the only thing they're focused on is what's going on stage. They don't care about what's going on outside that door. Everything was just like the good time they're having.
And I think, was that where I met you? Was that the first time?
No, I don't think it was the first time, but that's the first time we played on a regular basis together. 'Cause I was in the rotation.
Yeah, yeah, because James was really, you would have to be the first bass player, I really think.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, because I knew of Dennis before that because of your ability to put bass players out of work.
He's a freak, man.
He's the greatest left-hand bass player around on the keyboard. So
Oh, yeah, I have to go back. How old were you that first time we met?
23, 25.
I
don't
didn't
know,
think you were that old.
Yeah.
But he was in there.
6.
Yeah. And
I'm still 6, though.
easy.
I look 6, I think.
we were playing somewhere, and I hadn't really met James, but James walks up to me. I really didn't know how good he played, but he walked up and says, "Man, that one song you played, that bass line was, I mean, I can't understand how you did that and play the organ and stuff." And I said, "Well, what song was it?" "Midnight Hour" by Wilson Pickett. And I went, "That's all you think?"
I don't remember if it was that or it was one of those standard tunes that
I think
you
it
hear all
was.
the time.
I still say it was Midnight Hour.
I thought it was maybe Mustang
Mustang
Sally
Sally,
or
Or
something.
Mustang Sally.
Anyway, whatever. But it was just he had a great groove and it sounded, just like a bass, only better.
Were you then always putting a bass in?
I started that when I was in high school. I was in high school, and everything was Jimi Hendrix, Cream. Every three-piece band in the world was big then. I was a keyboard player, no keyboards in these bands. So I said, I ain't standing around doing nothing. So that's when I really started doing the bass. And
Bass and the keyboard, regular keyboard part, and singing, triple tasking.
He's the
whole
only guy I
time.
know that can do a shuffle and keep that going in his left hand while he's solo.
Something different, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
very
mean,
good
most people
independent.
flatten it out, but yeah, he's the only one, the
But-
only one.
yeah, I was really lucky. I mean, the
they-
talent, like all of these guys. I still say our talent is God given. I've always
Amen.
thanked him. But I've been really fortunate. Yeah.
So in this rotation, how many guys were playing? You guys were the standard.
Well, it was usually Dennis and
much
I,
group.
and then we'd bring in another vocalist.
To
At
be
first
able
we did,
to be able to pay everyone, to pay Terry what I paid him, it was like
$600 a day. Thank you.
$600.
No one else could get paid.
Right. Yeah.
No, I don't care. No.
Well, it's like I say, the room wasn't that big, so it was trying to have
How many
4 or
people?
5. It was usually just the 3 of us.
5.
No, how many people in the room?
5.
5.
Yeah, it was a really small room.
monster.
It was like maybe 90 to 100.
You couldn't be left-handed and eat next to somebody because you'd bump elbows.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But, we had everyone from country players to rock players to groove players. We had Baby.
Baby, yeah. It was,
Yeah. So
Now you
Karen Davis.
did
Yeah.
your folks have
was a
music there before you started playing? You brought it in.
yeah, right, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just Wednesday nights, no other night?
No.
After a
but
while, we
because
started doing Fridays and stuff like that.
yeah, you
every
did the
now and
Elvis
then.
show and stuff every once in a while.
we would do special occasions on Fridays, but your business was too good on the weekends to worry about that. Wednesdays was your slow night, and when musicians were off. The musicians
Yeah.
usually on
That's
Wednesday.
a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dennis really, just from a third person's chair, my viewpoint was it was just a great example of somebody who the restaurant closed during COVID. It overcame that situation overcame the restaurant and the situation, but Dennis really not only kept the business going with music as a driving force. It thrived because of what these guys did there every week, and for all the special events that you guys put on. And it would have had, just like any business, it would have had a hard time. And Dennis really stepped up the scene in Kansas City. Everybody knew about the Frontier Steakhouse, and kept that business thriving because of music. And I just love to see that,
that's
just
what
'cause
got-
that's the business we're in. So.
And I've got it was just not me. It was my brother, without him doing what he did, I couldn't have done what I
Running the restaurant or
yeah.
playing? Oh, running the restaurant.
Run the restaurant.
Well, there's no question of family business.
Oh, yeah.
Team effort for sure. But it's also kind of funny when you see the keyboard player come out of the kitchen wearing a few pieces of chicken and just break into song.
There'd be sometimes the Dennis would be back there and Terry'd be outside playing the keyboard
because we were too
because
busy.
they're still busy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then besides my brother, our mom.
Oh, mama.
Yeah.
She
So
was
she's
she was
98?
full time till she was like 98.
98 years
Wow.
old. Still.
Every day, every single day, man.
Yeah. So it's like James said, it was a whole family that did it. Yeah.
And that's how the driveway started because of that. I mean, because we had nowhere to play, so we started doing the thing behind the restaurant on the deck, and then people start saying, "You guys playing anywhere else?"
Actually,
try
yeah.
my driveway.
That's right. Yeah.
And then we then Wednesday night we'd finish playing, and they'd start saying, "Where are you playing this weekend?" So we'll be in my driveway. Okay. And the same people that Wednesday would show up on Friday.
Yeah.
And then after a while we started. I think one time we tried to get greedy and said, "Let's do Friday and Saturday." And we did Friday and Saturday, and
Or you
yeah.
put it out on Facebook.
Yeah.
What do you want? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, if you wanted Friday or
Well,
Saturday, and
and
nobody
that,
said anything.
That
Some
was
people
no
said,
small
"Boom."
undertaking. I mean, you had to check in with the city. You had get permits.
Well, at that
and
time
all
we
that.
didn't.
Oh, you didn't.
No, until that jerk got involved, then that started.
Oh, and then you had.
But
to.
yeah, and then like
Well, parking was a pain in the ass. I mean,
wasn't for me.
Good thing I didn't drive.
holy hell.
Oscar wasn't worried about that part.
Well, and early on, they'd let you park at the church,
church,
and then they
right behind it,
canceled
yeah.
that. So then you're fucking 5 blocks down the road, toting your chair. You
See,
know.
now you live closer. You could have just walked
I know.
over.
Shit. Then it ended.
But yeah, that jerk shut it down, and it's the whole thing. It's like people still start, like when we did the thing last month. When's the next show? It's next year.
Yeah.
And
One
it's
guy can do all
one guy
that
shut it,
damage.
and I estimated, okay, we're probably averaged at least 150, 175 people. So we did
Oh,
night.
on Music Day?
Yeah, no, I'm just the regular Friday night
Oh,
we were doing.
oh, yeah, yeah.
So it's probably 3,000, 4,000 people that showed up, and one guy shut it all down.
One guy,
Dick.
Dick.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
That was his middle name.
I still never seen him.
So let's take a quick Back to the Future kind of thing with you, Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
So you show up in town and are playing in the early '80s with who? You told me this story.
Larry Van Loan.
That's right.
Larry Van Loan and friends at what was it, City Light out in Walnut.
And then how'd you hook up with Richie?
Mike Harvey was the drummer. I went down to the blues jam they used to have Monday nights at Blaney's, and I went there like 3 weeks in a row. My name's Oscar Polk. I play saxophone. No, we'll get you up. I sit there all night long. See you guys next week. It's like, man, okay. Come back the next week. My name's Oscar Polk. I play saxophone. Okay, we'll get you up. And they're like 2:45. See you guys next week. It's like, dang, gummit. So then like the next week I show up and I said, I'm Oscar Polk. I play saxophone. He said, okay, we'll get you up. And then I saw Butch Smith come walking in, got his horn out of his cage, walked right on stage. And I said, got my horn out and I walked right up on stage. And the guy's like, okay. Then we played some song. Butch played his solo. I played my solo and jumped on it as hard as I could. And I said, thank you. Started walk off stage. No, stay up here. And then he said, I'm looking to start a group and then see if you want to play. And I said, okay. And we started playing City Light. And then Mike Harvey was the drummer in that group. And Mike Harvey was also the drummer in Bonton. And Butch Smith was quitting Bonton. So he goes back to Richard Lucini and tells Richard, hey, I think I got a sax player for us. So I went and sat in with them for a couple of times. And then they had Bonton at that time was playing Saturday afternoons and Sunday nights at what's the name of that place? It used to be 35th and Broadway, Milky Way. I think the Milky Way.
Oh wow!
And they were there
Man.
Sunday night.
I thought it was a Milky Cheese.
And I was playing every Sunday night at City Light. So he said, Richard said, I need somebody to play there every gig. So, okay, we'll get somebody else. So they got Willie then, and then like 6 months later and stuff, the trombone player got fired, and they called me, hey, Oscar, you interested in playing? Yeah, I'll do it. So I was sitting around the house and I'm twiddling, I wish I could play again. You know.
How many years with the Bonton?
Let's see, from 1986 until 2001, and then we broke up, and then we got back together in 2014. We went in the Hall of Fame, and that's when we grabbed Richard.
Grabbed James?
Richard asked me, he said, because Ed Toller died in 2001,
Right.
I guess, 2001, 2002. And Richard said, man, you know any bass players? I said, James Albright. And he said,
Yeah.
You don't have any other name? I said, not really. And then, so then Richard called James, and James said, like, I'd be honored. So I said, cool. And then, so we got James, and like, no, man, it's like, I mean, anytime I can play with him, it's
Yeah.
like one of
Back
the
to
best.
the Hurricane.
Oh, yeah.
He's the best, man.
Or
Yeah.
whatever they called it. And well, now it's got a hole in the wall.
Yeah,
so I
it's
don't-
And I
called the
think
Hole in the Wall.
I think they're
Hole in the
rebuilding
Wall
it.
Gang,
Oh, are
right?
they?
Yeah.
That was the name of the Frontier band, the Hole in the Wall.
Hole in the Wall game. Richard, Dennis has a CD. No, I'm not saying it because I played horrible on that thing. That CD you made.
I actually found that. I was actually going through some CDs, and we actually, I recorded us up there, and we actually burned a CD that sold to the crowd and all. You're on it. And,
I'm on it.
Oh, yeah.
Where's
yeah.
my royalties?
Did you do Blackety Sax on that?
No, I played. that's what I
Did
played,
you ever
what
eat
call
chicken
them,
at our place?
I played,
There's your
my
royalty.
royalty.
I played
That's it.
Rainy
Yeah.
Night in Georgia, played the wrong key.
That's beautiful.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll continue this conversation. Okay, so we're back. I'm going to jump right into where we left off. Oscar was just going over his Bonton experience. I'm going to move over to you, Terry Hancock, and you and I have had some conversations over the years about some of the people that you have played with, national acts. I know you were down in Branson for a minute and
Yeah.
played with
Shoji.
one of the best acts ever to hit Branson.
Yeah.
So go ahead, tell us a little bit about where you've been playing and who you're playing with today.
Well, now it's a lot with these guys here, and Penny Lawrence, Craig Q, Walt Chambers. That's another phenomenal band. I love playing that one.
And that's just Penny Lawrence Band?
It's the Penny Lawrence Band, yeah. Yeah, and I think she has a website. You can, everybody can check it out.
Yeah,
see
she's
what
got
we're
some
playing.
her vocals are
She does. She was
She's real good.
born
Great
into the
singer.
family of her father had an Opry show in Edgerton, and so she was brought up singing since she was 5 or 6 years old.
Edgerton, Kansas. Had an opera show. Mm-hmm. Cool.
And her dad actually just passed away, but yeah, she did it every weekend. And then when she had a family, she stopped singing for like 18 years and just started singing about 4 years ago again. So
Wow.
yeah, so she does real good.
And Walt's guitar in there.
Oh, Walty, that's my boy.
Yeah, he's something else. I can't believe you get him to stand up when he's playing with you. Every time I see him, he's always sitting down. And then I got to see him with you and Joel up at that little joint.
Yeah, I think Joel took his chair.
I wasn't quite sure that you guys were even playing. It looked like you were just sitting at a table waiting for your food. And then you broke out into song.
Don't let your son go down on me. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
That was
Now
a
we're going
good
to
deal.
hell.
All right.
And then I know you play with Carl and those guys. And,
Play at the Gospel Lounge at
Yep.
Knuckleheads, and we do a lot of different shows at Knuckleheads. And shoot,
Yeah, we did one
yeah, we did one.
last month, 2 months ago.
Yeah,
I love the Gospel Room. That's got
Yeah.
great sound.
that
doesn't it?
it's so it's like the gospel. I mean, it's like the Frontier. It's so intimate.
Intimate,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And people come there just to listen. Not to anything else. So they get a lot of singles and duos in there. We'll start it off with Carl's band, and then we'll get the other people up. Sometimes we play with them. Most of the time we don't, but that's a new deal too. For me anyway, I've been doing it for about 6 months, I think, 6 or 8 months, something like that.
Well, we happened in there. We were actually on the saloon side.
You were doing the bingo, weren't you?
Yeah, chicken shit bingo.
Chicken shit bingo. That's what it
And
was.
they were on break, and Connie was there, and she's like, "Oh man, Terry's over in the other room." And I'm like, "Okay." So we went over. It was you and Swope was there, right, with
Right.
Karen,
Yeah,
who was
yeah.
doing photos. So he came over, and I mean, Warden and
Right. Oh, that's right. Carl was there.
Vicky, and
Yeah, right.
it was something else, man. We stayed, and then finally, I better go back. I got a gig over
Yeah,
on the
you
other
do
side
the
that
other
I'm
side,
doing.
yeah. Right,
So,
right.
but yeah, that's a great place. And then you had mentioned this earlier. We were talking. You do a kind of a ministry type deal where you're going to the prisons.
Super Max 5, and doing concerts. Usually June we do all the Supermax and Max 5s in Kansas. They won't allow us to do Missouri anymore.
Who's doing them?
So Jimmy Bratcher, myself, Craig Q, and Mark Gunger sometimes, Aaron Mayfield sometimes, both keyboard players.
So everybody's been vetted.
Yeah, pretty much. They were going to
And they
keep me
still
one
let
time.
you?
They were going to keep me one time, but
Well, that's awesome.
I
man. That's
weaseled
good
out the
work.
fence. Yeah,
How often are you guys doing that?
we do that every year, and then we go back for a Christmas show as well.
Okay.
And the one thing about Ellsworth is one of them that we do every year, and it's a real rehab for the prisoners. It's not just, you go to prison and get better at being a criminal. That's normally what it is. But this one here is they allow the inmates to, like the church. That's their job. The people who play at the church. The bass player, guitar player. So that's what they do. So they've been putting on plays for the community and making money for
The inmates are doing that?
the inmates are doing it. And I mean, they're giving them, Jimmy comes in and, gives them a sense of value. He said, man, you're still valuable. You might be a lifer, but you're still, you're still a part of this world.
That's good shit right
Yeah,
there.
man. And he told the story one time, and this blew me away. He said there was a guy that committed murder, killed 7 people. He was out of his mind on PCP. And he got to this conference, and he was rooming with this guy. And he's going, man, he goes, he didn't know it at the time. He said, whoever my roommate's going to be, if he snores, ain't none of us sleeping because, I'm keeping him awake because he's keeping me awake. And he found out what this guy, what this guy did. And he was on PCP, and he thought these were aliens, and he took a claw hammer and killed 7 people. It was crazy. So the wife of one of the men that he killed, came to visit him in prison. And this is how powerful Jimmy is, man. Came to visit him in prison, and the guy didn't want to talk to the lady, but the guard said, yeah, get in there and talk to her. And she said, look, I forgive you, and here's a Bible that was my husband's. She goes, I want you to read it. So, they talked for a little bit, and so he went back, and he's now an ordained minister.
The killer?
Yeah, the killer is. And that's why he was at the conference rooming with Jimmy. That was his story. And, it was just like the power of forgiveness, the power of
Everybody
God. Yeah.
stopped and listened to that.
Yeah,
story,
big time,
didn't
man.
they?
Yeah. So that was real cool.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, he breaks me up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy's a good guy. Pastor Carl at the Gospel Lounge.
Sure. Yeah. I saw him and his wife last time I was at Knuckleheads.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sharon, she's...
Yeah, I got her a slippery nipple, in fact.
Excuse me?
Wait a minute.
Well, we had a bunch on the tray, and she was standing there by, Frank's throne, and I was like, well, do you want one? She said, what is it? I said, slippery nipple. She said, sure.
She's not shy.
She wasn't
no,
sure
she's
what
not
you were
at all.
talking
Not
about.
shy
Yeah.
at all.
Dennis and I did a lot of Walmart stuff, a lot of corporate stuff with, we'd open, Walmart had exclusives on up and coming artists like Taylor Swift and Brooks and Dunn. So we got to do with a lot of big name people. Jay Leno was, in the mix as well. And so that was, a lot of people from, what was that show? Not Star Search, but the other one.
American Idol.
American Idol, yeah. A lot of the second, third, fourth place winners would, go through Walmart to distribute their albums and stuff.
What were you doing?
We were kind of the rah-rah guys that got there at 8 o'clock in the morning and woke everybody up, and then they'd come on and play after us. So we'd
The warm-up.
Yeah, at 8 o'clock in the morning. I asked Ronnie Dunn when he was playing. I said, man, because he was singing Marie. I said, man, how do you do that at 8 o'clock in the morning? He said, the same way you did, bud. I said, yeah.
God, they were amazing.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we've had good luck and been blessed, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Well, you've got some good pipes, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Dennis LaFoon. Dennis and I were supposed to have a gig this past Saturday in Kearney, Missouri, and the heat killed the gig. So
He killed the gig. Yeah,
Dennis?
that was like a first for me. Yeah.
Dennis
And-
is somebody that Terry idolizes.
Dennis is the one I always idolize.
They
Where did that come from?
they did
He doesn't
this
do that
thing.
song at Frontier.
Oh no.
They did this
They
thing.
did.
For,
He's one told us to do it.
Hey,
they did this thing for my birthday, and I had to sit and watch the whole thing. But they went over and filmed Terry. He had these walls decorated with pictures of me and pillows with pictures of me
It was
and
my hero room.
yeah, and it was the most hilarious thing. I sat and laughed my ass.
I had a
off.
body pillow with Dennis's picture on it.
I missed this.
It was
do you still have it?
I still do. It's
Good.
kind of
very
sticking
good
to the side of the bed right now.
I was gonna say it's not in very good shape, is it?
Oh, shit. Oh, no. Let's talk about the music part of it then.
yeah.
Saturday, we were going to be there with, you were going to be with Shooting Star. Missouri
Right.
was going to open. A
Right.
couple bands I've seen many, many times. And I know when you came into Shooting Star when?
Oh, let's see, I was 37 years old, so that's 10 years ago.
1,000 years.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
You're 800 now.
Yeah. So like,
Biblical.
yeah. I gotta think. 40 years ago, I came into Shooting Star, and Van was putting the band back together. We'd known each other forever, Shooting Star's KC based, of course. So when he put the group back together, he called me up first and he said, "Would you like to do this?" And I said, "Yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah, I'm ready, So we got Shooting Star back together. And the first, we hit MTV with Touch Me Tonight. The album was going great. Our shows were amazing. So it just went on from there. I mean, I was so lucky to get that break. I mean, it's kind of what we all dream of, so I was lucky enough to get it. And so, we played, I did, with me, I did 4 albums. And then they had like 4 albums before I was with them. So,
They had somebody had passed in the band, right? At that break, during that break?
No, Gary just got fed up with the business, the original lead singer. Shooting Star had a lot of downfalls. The business, in fact, there's even a book that came out about Black Friday, and Shooting Star is one of the bands they talk about that in there, when the whole music industry went to hell. Most all the groups got screwed. Shooting Star got screwed big time.
In what way?
Well, they went with Virgin Records. A&M Records wanted Shooting Star. Virgin Records wanted Shooting Star. They decided to go with Virgin Records because they were based out of England. And they were going over there to record the album, to where if they did A&M, it would just be here in the States. Well, A&M wanted either Shooting Star or Kansas. So the first mistake they made was going to Virgin and not A&M. So A&M took Kansas, and then we know where Kansas went. So when they went Last Chance, they released it, but there was no albums for anyone to buy. So, it was getting airplay, but when you don't have product to sell, then it just kind of, just from that point on, just mistake after mistake after mistake. Wow. But they had great success too. I mean, there was markets, Chicago, Shooting Star is huge in Chicago to this day. St. Louis is huge. It's weird. San Jose Shooting Star is huge. You can go a half hour south and they don't even know the name. So it's crazy, all of our markets in the United States.
Well, you guys played with some of the biggest bands ever to come to Kansas City. I remember you guys opening up, because weren't you doing some of the old jams out at Arrowhead or
Right, yeah.
Royal Stadium?
Yeah, I mean, the list of groups we played with was REO, Journey, Styx, ZZ Top, a long list.
Yeah,
Cheap Trick,
yeah.
And I feel blessed just being able to get that offer. And then of course, everyone knows we lost our guitar player to the West Nile, and he suffered for 5 years. It's a tragic story he went through, and so after he passed, it was about 6 months after that, I start trying to put Shooting Star back together, because Van was like, he always loved to play live. In fact, we were doing that thing out at Joe's, and Van would come out just to play. I mean, he just loved to play live, and so, I went to the family, to his wife and kids, and said, I'd like to do this, and they said, oh my God, yeah. So we started putting the group back together. Steve is still in the band, the original drummer. And he's the only one, original from the very, very first band. But the band's amazing.
Yeah. Who's the gal in the band?
Janet Jameson.
She is fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, besides her violin player, and a lot of people that come see Shooting Star, they never get to see her sing lead, and she's got one of the most powerful female voices around. But she's an amazing violin player and amazing person. I love her to death.
Yeah.
And then we got Chet Galloway on guitar, which Van kind of picked him out to replace him. We were doing some charity thing for Van, and he said, I like Chet.
Kansas City guy?
Oh yeah. And then of course Todd Pettygrove. We had just got our last album done. It was Into the Night with Todd, and that's when Van got sick. It was like we released it, Van got sick, and it was just. And to me, it was one of the best Shooting Star albums that we ever had. And I was so proud of that because I worked with Van on the whole album. I wrote 2 or 3 of the songs with him. So So that's where. And then Shooting Star's still going. We tried to play as much as we can. So
where do you find the time? I know playing with Oscar and the All-Stars, you're with Shooting Star. I've seen you here recently. We did a feature on you with Fox 4
Right.
At the Aztec with the burning pianos.
Yeah.
And then you got something else too, right?
Well,
Kind of a variety show.
Yeah, several things. When the club market started dying, everything went to singles, duos, and then COVID killed a lot of the clubs. So I was never one to ever think about doing what they call now a tribute show. But it was like, well, the tribute shows, you make 4 times the money playing a bar, and you just play all of that artist's music. So, I went, well, okay, why not, because that was when Van was going through his illness. Of course, we just stopped playing, because we were sure Van would come back. So I started doing all these different groups, and they turned out to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are fun.
Yeah. So
Lighting that fucking piano on fire at the end was
get to burn up, and I actually started doing that at the restaurant, which was the odd thing because the restaurant
Ceilings was high.
Yeah, the restaurant had like 7.5 foot ceilings, and I got a guy to build me a pan, and I'd fill that with fluid, and I'd light that boy up, and it was like.
I was scared.
Yeah. The photos that
truly
we got.
scared when that happened.
Karen Swope was up on stage getting photos.
Right.
Oh my God, they were awesome. It looked like you were freaking on fire. Literally. They were
It would
great
get
photos.
a little close once in a while.
It's hot,
Yeah. So that's and since the restaurant, we sold our restaurant here about going close to 2 years ago now because of and because of COVID and ages and all that stuff. So then I just go, what am I going to do now? So it's like I'll do music like I've always done. So
Stay busy.
yeah, so it's kept me busy and it's crazy. So
Great.
yeah.
James Albright. So I had forgot that you were with the Bonton Band there towards that last, I don't know, it wasn't a farewell tour, was it? Kind of a just get back together and make some money.
COVID killed Bonton.
Yeah. But you're also with the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra,
That's right.
and you've been with them for quite a while, right?
What are you laughing about? Put this on your lip, will you? Is there one on me? I knew there was. I was waiting. As soon as I saw these, it's an old running joke. We clip these on the shirt tails and run around and laugh at everybody, and so I'm the butt of the joke this time. Anyway, I knew it was coming. What did you ask me?
We don't know now.
KC Jazz Orchestra. How long have you been playing with them?
I guess maybe 10 or 12 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those guys, I mean, they're spectacular. I haven't seen them in, gosh, it's been a while, but now are you, I'm guessing because they practice all the time, don't they still?
Well, what happens is we have a series at the Kaufman Center where we invited guests or themed concerts, and so we do rehearsals the week prior to each concert. And then in between, there are like little runouts. We go to, we played a concert not too long ago at the Swope Park shelter there, and then we also have, I just did one today. We've got an educational series where we go around to community centers, camps for young people, and do a segment just to make sure that jazz is part of their listening and their life experience, because it's an older style of music, and frankly, you don't hear it on the radio that much, and so it's hard for them to get exposed to that type of music. And so one of the things that KCJO has done is set aside money and time for professional players to go into, like I say, camps and schools, churches, these kinds of places, and expose these kids to great music, and they also get, storytelling and education, just facts and information about jazz music, and we feel like they would have a hard time getting that kind of thing, especially at that young of an age.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So like I say, we did one today, and I think this wraps up the summer series, but yeah, so KCJO's alive and well, and we're doing maybe 10 concerts a year or something like that, plus all these little runouts and educational type things as well.
Yeah.
You got to tell them where you just played here recently. I mean,
one
that's
is
a
that?
dream.
You know where?
Most everyone.
Yeah, I also am on the faculty at Kansas City, Kansas Community College, and we just did a concert at Carnegie Hall with the choir there and the faculty, and actually a couple of extras, and the soloists from the New York Voices sang with us. It was a composition by Justin Bennick that had won awards.
Wow.
And so we got to play Carnegie Hall just recently. So
Congratulations.
yeah.
That's the one in Piper, Kansas.
Oh,
Carnegie
it is.
Hall. There you
That
go.
I thought that was Carnegie.
No, I mean that would that had to be a dream come true there.
It was for all of us, but hearing it, like, yeah, I know somebody who
I
played
know.
there.
I know that guy. Yeah. Locally, what else are you doing outside, playing with the All-Stars and doing the jazz? Are you getting out and doing other bands?
Yes. So I play quite a bit at the Black Dolphin, Green Lady Lounge. Those two clubs are right down in downtown, Midtown area. And also, let's see, I'm playing with Kelly Hunt quite a bit, doing her. It started during COVID, just not unlike what Oscar did, putting together live concerts and then also streaming them sometimes. And Kelly had a lot of success, although she wasn't doing live concerts so much. She did during that time put together a weekly concert, streamed on the internet, so wherever you are. But she has an audience that stretches the globe, so she's everywhere, and so her weekly concerts were really, really successful, and I was in kind of like the rotation for her augmented band every so often.
And that was where?
We just broadcast from her place, and she lives in Lawrence.
Oh.
And yeah, so we it was quite successful for her. Really, really got all of us that were involved through that time as well. So I was lucky. I got. Oftentimes I'd have two gigs a week during COVID,
Yeah.
and it'd be Oscar's place and Kelly Hunt's thing, and then maybe a church job. So
I see you, when you're with the All-Stars, you're playing the electric, but you also tote that big
the upright around.
upright, yeah.
Yeah, so most of the time when I would play at Dennis's restaurant, it would be on upright bass. He does a fair amount of the Vegas style show tunes and such, and the rockabilly sound and the jazz tunes. In that
Claim to
style.
fame though what was that? Bare necessity.
I did the bare necessities.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
You know,
Amazing.
it's weird to have a signature song, but at the Frontier Steakhouse, I had a signature song, and it was bare
Hey,
necessities.
mine was Yakety Sax.
Yours was Blackety Sack.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I ain't gonna top that.
no, but really between him, Walt, and Terry taught me more music because I was a rock guy all my life. I mean, strictly rock. And then I started playing with Walt and Terry, and we started playing all this country stuff. I'm going, well, I don't.
He said my dad would be rolling over in his grave.
Yeah, yeah. And so I started learning that, and then by playing with James, started learning technique on playing like the old classics. I guess
Standards,
you call it.
yeah. Standards, yeah.
And I'd learned so much from these guys. It's totally amazing. And I'd never paid them a dime.
He learned brown cow too. I don't know.
That's a part of music, though, right? Playing with the guys you like, you learn all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, except for brown cow.
Yeah.
We don't want to go
What are we
there.
talking about, Brown? I don't know.
So I've got something to ask you, Oscar. This was last year. We went to the Chiefs game. Driving back, you were telling me a story about how this kind of evolved as well. Somebody fucking pissed you off. It said that a sax player couldn't be the leader of a band. So here you are.
That same guy played in a band with Cliff for years. I mean, with Dennis for years. I met and just mentions his name.
no.
Go ahead. Just let's talk about that story.
Oh, Cliff? Oh,
Yeah.
God. Okay.
Yeah, he's. I had the original Oscar Polk band, and then he quit. He quit, and he told me he's going to quit. And he said, "I just don't see a leader of a band with a sax lead in it." So, what are you
Shut
doing?
up.
Yeah. But yeah, so I said, okay. But then I think that was like in 2001, and then we went to like 2006 until I got tired of booking a band. But then we got back together. I think 2010 or something, we started playing around again. So it's like 2 or 3 years I got tired of booking the band, and then we just started doing it again. And then in some version we play. I mean, it depends on who's booking the gig. Like I've had Oscar Polk band, it'd be me, Terry, Dennis, and James. And it'd be the Terry Hancock band, me, Terry, Dennis, and James. Or it'd be like, Dennis would book a gig, it'd be me, Terry, Dennis, and James. But it just whoever ended up booking the gig at the time is whoever got the name. Dang go.
Well, I saw you guys, you, Dennis, Terry, and Walt. You guys were in the
Knuckleheads.
Yeah, Knucklehead in the saloon. God damn, that was good. I mean, I'm not crazy about the saloon sound. Frank
Right.
needs to really kind of do something with that. But oh my gosh, you guys sounded good down there.
Actually, somebody actually.
Walt brother.
Yeah, actually, there's a couple songs on YouTube now you can look up under. What do you look it up?
Terry Hancock band.
No, it's under it's on Knuckleheads, but it's I'm trying to think of what Bob's name is.
But there's a couple songs on YouTube if he can think about it that was recorded that night, and they're on YouTube, and it's like, oh my
Well,
god.
Shaky Ground has still got the blues.
Yeah.
If you pull those up.
And there's one more song.
That
too
pop-up
just
show?
put on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This
And
guy's
it's like-
phenomenal, man.
oh, yeah.
He's
It's like,
Yeah.
dang, I didn't know
The
it
mix
sounded that good.
Yeah, the mix sounded great. Everyone looked great except for Terry, and
and I looked really good.
Well, I had seen the Aces down there, and it got crazy loud. I mean, just like the second set, you guys, it was screaming so fucking loud. You guys sounded so good down there. I've seen a lot of bands at Knucklehead, so I mean, I'm not.
You missed the one though. Best one we did, I think, is when we did it last year when Valentine had that thing down there when things reopened.
Oh,
Kansas
God.
City reopened.
In the saloon?
Oh yeah, we were on fire that night. I'm not to brag, but oh man, all of us. I mean, it's just like we got a chance to play outside again. I mean, play inside a bar with a regular bar and it's like sound system. Everything. Oh man, yeah.
Happy to be alive.
Yeah, and I think somebody's got. I think there's a couple of videos from that's on YouTube.
oh really,
Yeah.
really, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and then we come back. We'll kind of dive into some events and things you guys are doing here in the fall and the winter, and get some plugs in for you. So.
Cool.
All right, so these are going to be the plugs that we want to make sure you guys get all the info. Barrio on,
What was that? The second Saturday, whatever day.
Second Saturday.
Is that the 13th?
and that's just a running gig,
Something
right?
like that, yeah.
Second Saturdays.
Yeah,
So
second.
let me comment on that real quick. I've been to the Barrio where on a non-Oscar Polk All-Star Band night, and man, is it not the same? I'm telling you.
We heard from the bartenders there say that they fight to get that night.
It is nothing. I went to see these guys. They wanted me to come and see them. Oh, we're at the Barrio. I'm like, okay, it's right by the house. So I went up on a Saturday. Susan and I did, and the Green Shoebox Band. Are you familiar with them? Interesting. They're a lot of electronic stuff. The drums. He plays sax. It's an electric type deal. It's
Like your little wind thing.
Like mine that I never play.
it's kind of interesting. They got a gal that sings. She's got a decent voice. But the point is, there was nobody in the place. I mean, and we stayed. We left after about the third, fourth song of the second set, and it was just still, it was weird not being there and not have everybody just jamming up to you
Right.
guys, right? And inside there is tough.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that in the wintertime it was tough, but now you're back out on the patio. So, second
James will be-
Saturday.
James will be there this next Saturday.
Oh, good. Where else have you got coming up?
We've got your party this Saturday.
This will not air by the time we have our party. But thank you
Then
for
we're
the
gonna
plug.
Then we're going to be doing what?
There will be video of that though. So,
At Fox 4, we're doing that thing.
Oh, that's right.
September 2nd.
yep, you'll be live on the lawn.
Yep, and then
Who's going to be live on the lawn? All these
of us.
guys?
Yeah, everybody.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
It's a good gig. It's a lot of fun. It's early, so there's that, Terry.
I don't have to go to work.
I'll
that
just
day.
stay up that night.
And we've got I think we've got a couple of private parties during that time, but yeah, we still the Barrio things the second Saturday every month.
Terry Hancock,
Yes, sir.
where can they find you outside of Oscar Polk's All-Star Band?
Well, let's see. We get Humphreys in Smithville. Is that right?
That's right.
Humphreys, yeah.
Yep.
The Hideout, which is off North Oak. Sunset Grill, which is in Overland Park. We're getting ready to go down to Southern Alabama to record Jimmy's new album with Jim Gaines, who was the producer of Stevie Ray Vaughan and Carlos Santana. He's got some Grammys with those guys.
Whereabouts down
I haven't been there. This will be my first time going.
Gulf Shores?
It's down in that area. Yeah.
Okay.
I know it, but I can't think of it right now. Let's see what else we got going.
Is Hideout and are those monthly gigs, regular?
Well, they're different dates, but we play there every month.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a set like the second weekend or anything like that. It's we do this one and this one. Could be back to back.
Who's playing?
That's with Penny Lawrence.
Penny, you and
Walt.
Walt.
Craig
Craig.
Q and Walt
Oh.
Chambers.
Okay.
He's a playing son of a gun.
He's a great
Yeah,
bass player.
Greg is good.
Yeah, he's real good. Gospel Lounge on Wednesdays. I do two churches on Sunday. The First Baptist of Independence with Nate Dean, who's a phenomenal guitar player, and then Carl Butler's church in the afternoon. That's for all the musicians who can't get up early.
Yeah. I see where Swope is doing his gig at.
And Lenexa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. James does.
Were you
The
with
church gig? Yeah. That's Unity Overland Park.
Unity? They're
Yeah.
at 103rd.
It's 90. I don't know if it's 103rd yet. It's on Marshall Drive.
Oh.
Just south of 95th.
Oh, out in Lenexa. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Okay. Well,
And then we got a gig coming up with Dennis. So that's the 6th.
Yeah, yeah, August 6th, the Johnson County Fair.
Yeah, that's right.
out in Gardner.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Dennis, go ahead. Where can they find you and all of the bands that you're playing?
Can I look at my calendar?
Indeed.
Yeah, I better
Without, okay, let's see, the Levee Friday, and then I'll be at the Oak Room.
Oh yeah, we're at the Levee Friday.
right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Lupe.
Yeah.
I saw that. Okay.
Then I'll be doing a single at the Oak Room at the Intercontinental. Then we got the fair on August 6th. Got a burning piano show in DeSoto on the August 19th. I think that's kind of an outdoor thing too. Doing a Bob Seger Goddesses of Rock up at Kearney, August 20th. I'll be at the Sugo on August 26th, which is at the Ameristar, doing a solo gig there. And then the Great Balls of Fire show, I'm doing that at Kearney, August 27th. In fact, Kearney's going to put a plaque of me up there because I'm up there so much. So,
Do you live in Kearney?
thank you, Kearney.
How about the piano?
Not even close.
How about the piano show?
The piano. Oh, well, I haven't got there to get to that. And then the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I'm doing a Seeger thing all over Bethany, Greencastle, Missouri, a Bate, Kansas rally.
Who's with that? Who plays with that?
That's got let's see, Freddie Francis on guitar, Hot Rod Lincoln on drums. Then we got 3 girls, Donna Hensley, Jessica Gray, and Jill Francis. And then Tony, he comes up from Houston, Texas, and he is like the reincarnation of Bob Seger.
Wow.
The guy's really amazing, yeah. And I mean, everyone thinks Bob Seger sings low. It's way up. It's way, yeah. And he nails it. And to go on. And then Shooting Star, we got a big show September 17th with Ozark Mountain Daredevils in St. Louis.
Chesterfield.
Yeah,
Yep.
Chesterfield. Yeah, and then I'll just I'll quit here in a second, and then
Keep going.
Then we're back at the Levee with Lupe and
At the
these
end of
these
end of
guys,
September.
and then I got a Shooting Star show in Richmond, Missouri, which is kind of filling the Kearney show.
I've got a warrant there.
Still.
Okay, he won't be there. October 8th is a special doing a show in Lexington, Missouri, and it's a charity event. They get fibrillators for the fire stations around Lexington, Missouri. So that's really a good cause.
What
there.
band?
Well, that'll be kind of my second house band. It'll be the 3 girls I mentioned, Jill, Donna, and Jessica. And then Hot Rod Lincoln will be playing drums and a guitar player to be announced soon. And,
Are those the girls that were in the burning piano?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. They're awesome.
Yeah, great. And I'll quit here in a second because we're getting close to the good one. And then I got a dueling piano show in Lansing on October 15th with Tony Ristisi. That's a charity event. Not sure who that's for, but it's a charity event. I'm getting to yours. Hold on.
I thought I would be on that one too.
Yeah. And then October 22nd.
Mark the date.
Okay.
Put it down, please.
Dueling pianos with Terry Hancock as my second piano player.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Are
yeah.
you playing it with the
about Terry.
drumsticks?
That's what I thought.
No.
I got the claw method.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
It's mitten piano.
So I think me and Terry will probably start doing a few of these dueling
Where
pianos.
is that again?
This is in Milan, Missouri.
Dang, man.
Not your land, but my land.
Yeah. October 22nd.
What day is that?
Where is Milan, Missouri?
It's
South of the border.
no.
It's east of here.
It's he's pointing up north.
Hey, James,
somewhere.
we can go there and heckle them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'll bring
So
some rotten fruit.
You'll be wowed.
Yeah.
After our rehearsal, I'm gonna tear it up.
I got a special zucchini for that one.
yeah.
So you had to take him all the way to Milan to put him on the keyboards, huh?
Yeah, to get me out of here anyway.
Yeah. Well, the agent that booked me there was, I said, Tony can't do it. I've got Terry Hancock doing it. I didn't know
It's Milan High School class of
I didn't know he
1983.
plays piano. I said, "Oh, he's a Liberace on the piano."
And you got to see that. You got to see that's something right there.
Yeah, that's
or
Liberace,
maybe
all
it's
right.
just that outfit you wear. Okay.
It is.
Yeah.
It's my outfit.
Is
when
this
you
a
call it an
paid
outfit.
gig?
Yeah.
I know.
And then we have some gig on the 18th.
what, October?
November.
November.
Yeah, it says Oscar gig. And then
November?
of course, yeah. And then of course I got the Burning Piano show at the Aztec on December 23rd. So we do like a Christmas show. We'll do a lot of Christmas music.
You're a busy man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's like I said, I used to cook on the weekends.
I sure do like those Christmas cookies, sugar.
Yeah. So that was, I'm sorry for taking up all.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
beautiful.
James, let's hear your schedule. I'm with these guys.
I've got a gig in February that's going to be great.
It's a house gig once a year.
Everybody mark your calendars.
He just leaves his stuff set up.
This is the gig.
Actually, it's going to be a dueling bass show. It'll be him and me doing dueling bass.
And I'll be in the background.
I get my butt whipped.
Oh,
Let's see. I've got this weekend. I'm Black Dolphin, Green Lady. Next weekend, or not? I don't have all my calendar memorized, or even anywhere as detailed as Dennis has got his calendar going. I got a show with Kelly Hunt on August 20th in Topeka. I've got
where's the show?
At the big. What's the municipal right there?
The park there.
No, it's not in the park. It's the big. I can't think of the name of the big theater there. It's right in the middle downtown.
Oh yeah.
Downtown what?
Topeka.
Patika.
Oh my God, yeah. We did a show there. It's the.
Of course you did.
Yeah, it's the Topeka Arts and something auditorium.
Okay.
Arts and Fish Auditorium.
It's in Topeka with Kelly Hunt. I'm certain you can find it on her
Thank
website.
you.
And there's a plaque of me in that one too.
There it is. His name's on the bathroom wall too.
Either that or it's the pillow with his face on it. Yeah,
It's a body pillow. Yeah.
And then the KCJO stuff will start in September, October for the regular season. So you can.
How long is that season?
It's basically the school year, and then the runouts are in the summer, and those are individually scheduled. So the main concerts, like I say, at Kauffman Center throughout the school year, basically.
And Tim Whitmer, like every week.
Yeah, Tim is one of the groups that I play with at the Black Dolphin, and then also Green Lady right next to it. So.
Is there a scheduled day in the month on the Black Dolphin?
Well, Tim's there every weekend, every Friday and Saturday.
That's a cool club.
Yeah, it's neat, and it's very dark in there, so you allow your eyes time to adjust.
So you look good, don't you?
It's the best place. I can wear all my clips.
Nice.
And the Green Lady's just about the same. I'm playing, I believe, with Rod Fleeman this weekend there, and let's see. Everything else is going to be just a one-off sort of a thing. I stay pretty busy, but Talia Ray Groves, I'm doing some work with her recently. So,
Nice.
Yeah, you I need to mention her.
So one last part of this is I know you guys do a lot of covers. I know, Oscar, you recently, I see all the time. You were in the studio. Are you guys putting some music out?
Yeah, we've done. Probably got close to an album worth of stuff.
Yeah,
but
we have
haven't
like
finished
6
anything.
songs. For the new season.
Is it still 12 kind of get you the album?
Well, we thought about 10 because since it's
10.
streamed now instead of getting the CD and everything.
So are you going to break them out one a month and then press it?
We haven't really discussed that at this point, but it's just kind of we thought well, let's just record some stuff and let's see what happens.
Because we've always talked about, man, we need to record.
So
and
we
finally
did
started doing something.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah,
right?
it's real exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, nowadays you're do better by streaming. Trying to do a physical CD nowadays. I mean,
Nobody buys those anymore.
Yeah, I mean nobody even has a CD player anymore.
Yeah.
So the streaming is where everything is.
I do, but
Yeah,
my
my
business
car's 20
cards are
years
stuck
old.
in.
I got a CD player in my car. My car's older than you are, and so I have a CD player in my car.
All right, so we'll take a quick break. If you guys want to come back and grab an instrument and play a couple tunes for us, we'll get that on video. Kind of ended up that way so people can actually see what it is that you do on video. We may put some audio on that too. It depends.
Yeah.
But you're not obligated by any means. You can just drink the rest of your time here if you want to. So.
Ready?
Oh yeah,
My claim to fame.
nice.
Chewing on a piece of grass, walking down the road. Tell me how shine. Where the days are longer, the nights are stronger than moonshine. You're gonna go, I know. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where the free winds are blowing through your hair, the days surround your daylights there. Seasons crying, no despair. Alligator lizards in the air, in the air. Do, do,
One Dennis does all the time.
waiting for the early train.
Horse with no name.
Sorry, boy, I've been hit by purple rain. Oh, come on, Joe, you can always change your name. Thanks a lot, sir, just the same. Ventura Highway in the sunshine, where the days are longer, the nights are stronger than the moonshine. You're gonna go, I know. Whoa, 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 whoa. The free winds are flowing through your hair, days surround your daylight there. Seasons crying, no despair. Alligator lizards in the air. Come on, James. Big game, James. Come on.
Do horse with no name.
Outstanding.
It's the same song. It's the
Yeah,
same song.
it's like it was a. Sometimes late when things are real. Same thing, yeah.
That's how.
It is.
Actually, it goes to B if you can do it. On the first part of the journey, I was looking at all the life. There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There were sand and hills and rings. The first thing I met was a fly with a buzz in the sky with no clouds. The heat was hot and the ground was dry, but the air was full of sound. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. Felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember a name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no fame. La 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 la. On the second day, free, 'cause the river had turned to the sea.
Need Andy.
There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There were sand and hills and rain. The ocean is a desert with its life underground and the perfect skies above. Under the cities lies a heart made of gold, but the humans will give no love. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. Felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no fame. La la la
la la la la la la la. La 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 la.
Thanks for hanging out with us on today's episode of The BS Sessions, presented by AMPR Plaza. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.